Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Avadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhagavati Naishtaki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 7, knowledge of the absolute. Text 11 onwards. So Krishna is speaking, so this is knowledge of the absolute. He's talking about himself, how to see him everywhere. He's still not talking about his personal feature, but just his energy. So we understand or see him everywhere. So in this text he says, Balam balvatam chaham kamarag vivarjitam dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamo asmi bharat rishav. I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. Means the pure strength. I am sex life, which is not contrary to religious principles. So Lord of the Bharats, Arjuna. Bharat Risha means you're the Lord or you're the best of the Bharat Vanshis. So Dharma Viruddho Kameshu. Dharma Viruddho Bhuteshu. Kamo Asmi. So it's not that, well, because the organs are there, the sex desire is not there, but he is the pure desire for Kama also. And Balam Balvatam Chaham, I'm the strength of the strong. The strong man's strength should be applied to protect the weak, not for personal aggression. So that is the reason he has given the strength. Basically, he's telling Arjuna, the strength that you have, actually, it's I am that strength. But devoid of passion and desire, not for personal aggression. So you're not fighting for personal aggression. Similarly, sex life, according to religious principles, should be for the propagation of children, not otherwise. The responsibility of parents is to make their offspring Krishna conscious. So this is the prime responsibility. When Bhagavatam says one should not become a father, mother, husband, teacher, guru or teacher, or have any other form of leadership, if he cannot liberate his dependents. So one should not become, because then he gets karma. But so this was the principle in earlier ages. It's Kali Yuga, when everything goes upside down, topsy-turvy. So sex life should be for the propagation of children, and that too, those children that we're going to make or actually help them become Krishna conscious. That is a prime duty of a parent. And actually, even if not making Krishna conscious, just for propagation of children, actually in that way, animals, they follow it properly. Actually, animals, they are all controlled by nature, animal, birds, anybody lower than human beings. So they follow it. They don't go for abortion or any other method not to have children. They don't go for that. It's only human beings. And when we break the principle, then we suffer. We have to suffer. Ye chaiva sattvika bhava rajasas tamasascha ye mat eveti tan vidhi na tvaham teshu te mai. Know that all states of being, be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature, for they, on the contrary, are within me. Mat eveti tan vidhi na tvaham teshu te mai. So all states of being, whether in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. They are manifested by my energy. Even the goodness, passion, and ignorance material modes are his energy, and all states of being, they're my energy. But I'm not under my energy. So that completely negates this Mayavadi theory that ultimate is Brahm Jyoti and something happened in Brahm Jyoti and all these forms, Krishna and Ram, and they all came about. No. Then that means Brahm Jyoti is superior to Krishna, but that's not true. He is superior to everybody. And the three modes, he is beyond those three modes. His activities, his form, it doesn't come under those three modes. All material activities in the world are being conducted under the three modes of material nature. Although these material modes of nature are emanations from the Supreme Lord Krishna, he is not subject to them. For instance, under the state laws, one may be punished, but the king, the lawmaker, is not subject to that law. Well, these days leaders are subjected to laws. But the king in earlier days, he was not subject to the law. Similarly, all the modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, are emanations from the Supreme Lord Krishna. But Krishna is not subject to material nature. Therefore, he is nirguna, which means that these gunas or modes, although issuing from him, do not affect him. So he doesn't come under means they don't affect him. He's always transcendent, beyond. So that is one of the special characteristics of Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And not just he is beyond. Anybody who takes shelter of Krishna, he also goes beyond the three modes of nature. He also becomes spiritual. So what to speak of Krishna, who's always transcendent? So further he said, Tribhir gunamayar bhaveredhi sarvamidam jagat. Mohitam nabi janati mamebhya param avyaya. So deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. So deluded by the three modes means for us, conditioned souls, we don't know him. We cannot know him completely, first of all. And to whatever extent we can know him is only by his mercy. So those who are completely bewildered, deluded by the three modes, how is it possible for them to know him? He is spiritual. All his pastime, he says, Janma Karma Chamin Divyam. They are transcendental. All my pastimes or birth-taking activity, they all are Divya. So those are transcendental. We are bound by three modes. A huge difference. How to know him? So obviously we cannot know him by our trying to study the scriptures and understand the scriptures. Scriptures are also transcendental because they are his words, either his words or about him. So just by studying the scriptures, we cannot know him. So the best way to know him is also given by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita only later on. So this is our shortcoming. This is our conditioning. The whole world is enchanted by the three modes of material nature. Those who are bewildered by these three modes cannot understand that transcendental to this material nature is the Supreme Lord Krishna. So transcendental to this material nature. Every living entity under the influence of material nature has a particular type of body and a particular type of psychological and biological activities accordingly. So, under the influence of material nature. So, every living entity. So, material nature has given all these 8 elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. They're all material. Could be gross, could be subtle, but material nonetheless. And then 5 working senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, sense objects. This is all material nature made up of. On top of it, 3 modes. So every item, earth, water, fire, air, ether. Now the 3 modes affect our consciousness. Our means the living entity's consciousness. Either they cover over or they affect it. So the pure consciousness becomes transformed by the 3 modes. Now, even in the 3 modes, goodness, passion, ignorance. So goodness has further 3 shades. Passion has 3 shades, and ignorance has 3 shades. And every shade also has three more gradations. Say, goodness has ABC, passion has ABC, ignorance has ABC. Now A has 1, 2, 3, B has 1, 2, 3, C has 1, 2, 3. So the whole combination of all these shades, they make 8,400,000 species of life. So whether it could be goodness A1 and the passion B3 and ignorance C3, C1, whatever. So how they all get mixed, it depends upon our desires and karma. So what species of life we're going to be born in? And in that species, okay, so animals, even in animals, there are 3 modes. Like in cow, mode of goodness is prominent. In tiger or lion, mode of passion is prominent. In monkeys or other animals, mode of ignorance is prominent. Although they are in animal form. And similarly, other like trees, plants, fishes, insects, birds. So depending upon that, what species we're going to be born, it is decided based on our desires and karma. And then in human life also. So some kids are born with mode of goodness, some are with passion, and many of them are in ignorance. And this is how they've been given birth in that family, among that, and in that family, through that parents, and they will be leading this kind of life. But in human life, the only good part is there is still independence. Options are there. If options were not there in human form, although the soul is same, whether animal form or human form, it is a matter of consciousness. If the options were not there, there was no question of these scriptures. Why would Krishna say, do this and don't do this? Means the option is there. It's up to us. Yes, to a very large extent, our life is destined, to a very large extent. But even going through that destiny, we can have our choices. So this life, even if we cannot change to very large extent, but next life, it can be changed. Depending upon how we execute those options. So it's up to us still. The destiny and options are described like this. If I buy a ticket, air ticket from here to Delhi, Washington, D.C. to Delhi, so I'm going to go from Washington, D.C. to Delhi in the flight. That is my destiny. What do I do on the flight? That's up to me. Either I can sit down and chant, I can talk to other passengers, I can do something nonsense activity in that flight. Now that will change my destiny once I land in Delhi. If I do something nonsense, then they can inform the police and police will come and arrest me. So option choices are there. So that we have to see how we execute those choices. Whether I spend my time in doing devotion service or other activities. But nevertheless, we are still under material modes. And bhakti is taking us away from those modes, slowly. So that is why it's also important that, yeah, we all are under material modes. Some have more goodness, some have more passion, some have more ignorance. What's the big deal? We all are under it. So we should help each other in getting out of it as much as possible. Not put them more under the modes by devoiding them of any spiritual activity or by castigating them. Oh, you're not worth it. You cannot do it. Everybody is under those three modes. And those who are beyond it, they'll be more of compassion than of pride. So that also shows how much we are under those moods. Okay, further Prabhupada says, every living entity under the influence of material nature has a particular type of body and a particular type of psychological and biological activities accordingly. So particular type of body according to those modes, and then the psychological and biological activities. Yes. There are four classes of men functioning in the three material modes of nature. Those who are purely in the mode of goodness are called Brahmins. Those who are purely in the mode of passion are called Kshatriyas. Those who are in the modes of both passion and ignorance are called Vaishyas. And those who are completely in ignorance are called Shudras. And those who are less than that are animals or animal life. Less than ignorance, completely in ignorance. Now, what shade of ignorance, that depends. Now, however, these designations are not permanent. That's another thing to know. I could be a Brahmin in this life, and if I be not so good behavior with others, but that is not Brahman to begin with. But then again, being a Brahman is not that every life is going to be Brahman. That's not sure. I may either be a Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or whatever. In any case, this life is temporary. Even animal life, it's temporary. But although life is temporary and we do not know what we are going to be in the next life, by the spell of this illusory energy, we consider ourselves in terms of this bodily conception of life. And we thus think that we are American, Indian, Russian, or Brahmin, Hindu, Muslim, etc. So this is because of the three modes of nature. This is the three modes and the delusionary potency. We think this is all in. And if we become entangled with the modes of material nature, then we forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who's behind all these modes. So all these modes means in what mode element earth will function or element water will function, that all comes from him. So we have to try to see him. So Lord Krishna says that living entities deluded by these three modes of nature do not understand that behind the material background is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is a delusion, and do not understand means he lacks this real knowledge. And another way to understand this. So the whole material world is full of ignorance. So no knowledge means ignorance, darkness. And in that darkness, goodness, passion, and ignorance are functioning and making us think I'm Brahman and I'm Vaishya and Kshatriya and Shudra, I'm dog, I'm cat, I'm bird, and this and that. And we all act according to those modes. So this is, and in one life I could be a Brahman, next life I could be an animal, next life I could be a Kshatriya, and so on and so forth. So this all can be understood by movies. So suppose in Hindi movie, let's take it. Suppose Amitabh Bachchan. So one movie he acts like a police officer. So he has his parents, brother, sister, friends, maybe has a girlfriend, and then enemies, plenty of enemies. Police officer means enemies, and then maybe has his family, wife, children, and whole lot of emotions and drama and action and this and that goes on throughout the movie. And end of movie, maybe he dies or survives. And then the next movie, he might be a criminal, a smuggler, and then again, family, and enemies, and actions, and drama, and emotions, and dialogues, and this and that. And then the movie, and then the next movie, maybe he's like a coolie, or next movie, he might be a businessman. So out of all these characters, which one is real Amitabh Bachchan? None. This is just movie character and a story created by the director. That's all. So real Amitabh Bachchan is when he is with his real family, Jaya and Abhishek and kids, and that is real Amitabh Bachchan. He's just acting in all these movies. And when we watch those movies, we get involved in that character because he plays it very well. And we also crying or laughing or get emotional and this and that. But this all happens when in the theater, they keep it all dark. If they turn on the lights and play the movie, we will not get those kind of things. So darkness is the ignorance, like us in the material. Although there is light of sun and moon, but the darkness is there because of our ignorance, not understanding. Archana Mataji is playing this role, and Rakesh Prabhu is playing this role. Chetna Mataji is playing this role very nicely. In the previous life, there were some other roles given to all of us based on our karmas and desires. And in next movie or next role, we could be playing some other role. So Amitabh Bachchan's movie goes on for maybe about 2.5, 3 hours. Our movie goes on for 70, 80, 90 years. And we all have the same actions like family, mother, father, brother, sister, cousins, and then growing up, going to school and college and have friends and some enemies and fights and emotions. I got good grades, I didn't get good grades, and whole lot of drama goes on in our life. Then we get married or have a job, and then a whole lot of new dramas go on. And in the end, what? Amitabh Bachchan might survive in the movie, but in this movie, everybody has to die. And throughout this movie, which is according to the director, Krishna doesn't even get involved personally. So he has given all these departments to Brahmaji and Shivji and 33 crore, 33 crore Devi Devtas. So three modes of nature making us to act this way, that way, and this. Actually, we act so perfectly in all these movies, which is live. We all should get Oscar because we are none. I'm not this man. Soul is not this body, but we all act according to the modes in this body so perfectly. But in the end, what? Next movie, and then next movie, and then next movie. And it goes on and on and on and on. So those who have knowledge. So let's go back to Amitabh Bachchan's movie. We get all emotional seeing those movies, how he acts and how everybody acts in them. But does he get emotional when he sees his movie? I don't think so. He knows what happened there, what happened there. And even the director doesn't get emotional. So, because they have the knowledge, they know what goes on beyond this, behind these scenes. So, so a sadhu who has knowledge, who can see, he doesn't get bewildered by his movie or by seeing our movies. In fact, he laughs at it. What is this nonsense? We get so emotional. Oh, Sadhu Maharaj, if I don't marry this girl, my life will be wasted. And the girl says, if I don't marry this boy, then I'm going to commit suicide. And if I don't get engineering college seat, my life is ruined. And if I don't get medical, it's all nonsense, actually. Whatever is in our destiny, we'll get it. If it is not there, don't worry. Nobody can make us get it. But the real thing that we should be getting is the knowledge. Who are we? Who is God? What is our relationship with God? How to revive that relationship? Rest, everything is temporary also because it's not going to last forever. But we all get so hyped up. Oh, if it doesn't happen, then that's it. I'll be a loser forever. There's no such thing, actually. But this all goes on. And this is Maya. This is ignorance. And Prabhupada further said, there are many different kinds of living entities, human beings, demigods, animals, etc. And each and every one of them is under the influence of material nature. And all of them have forgotten the transcendent personality of Godhead. Those who are in the modes of passion and ignorance, and even those who are in the mode of goodness, cannot go beyond the impersonal Brahman conception of the absolute truth. They are bewildered before the Supreme Lord in his person feature, which possesses all beauty, opulence, knowledge, strength, fame, and renunciation. When even those who are in the goodness cannot understand what hope is there for those in passion and ignorance. Krishna consciousness is transcendental to all these three modes of material nature. And those who are truly established in Krishna consciousness are actually liberated. So this is what is important. And see, Kali Yuga mode of ignorance is very, very prominent. Means people don't have knowledge, the real transcendental, scriptural knowledge. So Krishna knows all this. He has made Kali Yuga. He has made Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara, Kali Yuga. He knows the people of Kali Yuga. Manda Bhagya is Upadrita. Manda Sumanda Madhya. So he has given us a process according to our nature, according to our condition. Not elaborate deity worship or do austerities. You cannot do all this. Don't have knowledge of the yagyas to just chant. That you can do easily. See, according to the day and age, he has given us a process. We cannot say, oh, I'm gonna take up a difficult process, which I cannot do properly, not according to his instructions, and this is not the process of this day and age, because I have my limitations. So he has given us a process, knowing us, we are the whole to it's so much of ignorance. Kali Yuga, and then the material world, which is full of ignorance. Good luck. But the process that he has given of chanting of the holy names, it takes us right out of Kali Yuga propensities, and on top of it gives us Krishna Prem, which is the topmost destination. That's why Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is known as Namo Mahavadane, most magnificent incarnation, most magnificent, most compassionate, and most liberal. Cannot be more liberal than this. But this is our situation in Kali Yuga. So deluded by the three modes, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. But I just want to cover the next. I cannot cover the whole thing. I just the next verse which says, so Devi hi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. This divine energy of mine. He says divine, although it's yoga, Mahamaya. Because Mahamaya is consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. So cannot overcome this. But Krishna, next line is, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Easily. That's his mercy. And that's the power of his lotus feet or surrender unto him. So anyway, we'll take up this one next class. So we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Nice class. Especially the good examples for me.
Yeah, we all love Amitabh Bachchan.
हमारे ज़माने का है ना इसलिए.
Yeah. Chalo, you all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Radha.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.